Guneet, thank you for being here at Prana 2024. We had a lot of to take when you talked about your journey and your learnings. So I have two questions from you. One is, as a filmmaker, whatever you're doing and how you've contributed to the brand India story, what is the other recommendation that you would want to actually give to any Indian who are doing whatever in terms of how they can contribute to the brand India story for India at 100?
Thank you, Kunal, and to Prana for having me here. Yes, definitely. I just think that we are a very large young country, and we are, we all have cameras in our hands and dreams to share and stories to tell. I basically would tell people not to overthink, but to do more. I think, and that is what will be better for their skill development, is actually creating. If they ever want to be in the business of storytelling, there is no shortcut than actually doing. So get out there and create more, make more, and you'll get better at it. And it's not about, overthinking and being overwhelmed by the process. Elephant Whispers, we won an Oscar with the first-time director Kartiki Gonzalez, and I'm deeply inspired by her story, coming from a natural history photographer background to making a film and being a director to have won an Oscar and making India so proud. So been incredibly amazing to be on this journey with her. And to everybody seeing a dream, if you can dream it, you can be it. If we could go up there and get an Oscar, so can so many people make India proud. And I feel we just got started. So with all the digital equipment in your hand, with editing, with sound, with music, play around and go tell your story. The more authentic, the better, the more unique, but don't overthink it. It's more about doing it.
Like Nike said, just do it.
Yeah, keep creating.
Yeah, and in fact, if I reflect back to your story and your journey, I think the one line that will go is just do it, because you did not think over it. You just went ahead and did it. And seeing very closely from the journey that you had started, I could so relate with the recommendation that you've given, is that sometimes it's not about ideation, sometimes the execution is very, very critical. And if you're executing, you might be able to find a gem like you did in your journey with multiple gems that you have actually created. Now coming to your journey, I think there is a lot that we all can learn from your journey, because one is building an enterprise, but then creating something that makes the entire India proud of. So I would like to ask you that in this journey, if you have to capture, and I'm asking you 5 lessons, but if you want to actually summarize in 3 or 4, I'll also do. But the lessons that you have actually learned in your journey that we all can imbibe in terms of in our journey, in our life, and in our career as such.
Absolutely. So I think some of the things that have helped me are to be able to ask freely, to be able to ask your questions, to be able to learn from so much knowledge around, and to be able to, whenever you get an opportunity or you're in a room, don't undermine your question. It's part of your learning, it's part of your... So again, I just feel like we again overthink. If we will be seen as maybe somebody who doesn't know enough, or we will be considered as, somebody who's asked a silly question. But if you don't ask, then you don't move forward from that thought. So I would definitely say ask freely. And there are some virtues that I feel are, we learn this in school, and then life happens, and then needs happen, and then hustle happens, and there's no problem in that. But we kind of forget that. And that is what I realized, is at the core of it is honesty, integrity, and authenticity. The more honest you are with your work, everybody around it knows it, sees it. Today, even the audiences see it. So being honest with your vision, with your thought, with your work, there is no shortcut of doing the work. There is no shortcut of showing up for yourself and for your work. For me, at Sikhya Entertainment, I feel me and my entire team, we believe we are in the service of the story. So our project is bigger than us. It is not a definition of us, but it's definitely bigger than us that we are in service of. With all our honesty, with all our years of experience. And we try to keep that authenticity alive. And that comes with something which is build your intuition. So don't think that because that person did it this way and this is what the business says and that is why I have to do that. That sum totals actually never work. You don't have to be a reference. You could be you don't have to make something which has references. Otherwise, we would have never done a lunchbox.
Correct.
We would have never been part of a Gangs of Wasseypur. We would have never been part of a Kill. Because we would have always been like, it's never happened. So how can it happen? A movie without any songs, which is Lunchbox. So it is more about don't try and play by the rules. Know the rules, but be your authentic self and grow that intuition. We actually unfortunately live in an atmosphere जहाँ हमें बचपन से सिखाया जाता है कि ऐसे करो वैसे करो, so your intuition, you have to kind of unlearn a little bit to build your intuition and then to be able to jump on that risk, because you won't fall, you learn to fly in the process.
I want to actually add something that is more from my standpoint and where I see you, is that one is definitely everything that you've said has added to your journey, but what I feel is, and today when I see a lot of young talent, a lot of people feel that talent is the most critical thing, but people undermine the hard work. I've seen the hard work that you've done. I've seen it has taken years. People are seeing your success today. People have seen your other milestones like Lunchbox or Gangs of Wasseypur or other such milestones. But where you are today, there's a lot of blood and sweat that has gone in terms of hard work. So I want you to actually just reflect upon talent versus hard work, because if it was just about talent, then Virat Kohli would have not practiced before matches. So if you could just reflect upon hard work versus talent.
I think learning plays a very large role in that. And to be like, my company is called Sikhya Entertainment, which means keep learning. So learning and curiosity is at the core of it. So any story that we want to do, it's about reading more, it's about watching more, it's about asking those questions on how it can be better, how will not taking your audiences for granted. But definitely there is no shortcut to hard work, to reading those scripts, to meeting those people. At the end of the day, we will make few films, but I never take the time that the audiences will give me for granted. It has to be worthwhile, the experience, for somebody coming and giving me 2 hours to watch a story that I had to tell. So keeping that in mind, what is it that one wants to make? What is the experience that one wants to give? And nothing is overnight. It takes 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to make one movie. And to be so, I had to define the definition of success, because I live in an industry where there is a lot of creative talent, there is ego, there is vanity, there is there is a lot of virtues that you're also, their personalities, and then you're kind of in a you have to bring everything collectively for it to have its best shape and size. So you have to navigate all of that. So I feel like showing up, having clear conversations, having clarity is something that is undermined. Seeing a vision together, retaining that collective vision, and that only comes with one step at a time, one day at a time. So when I had to just, what is success? Because success can also mean a lot of money, can mean 100 crores at box office, which I've never had in the 16 years of filmmaking. So what is success? So in my journey of taking Indian stories far, of having great ROIs on my projects, of always recovering and building kind of language of pop culture, film after film, traveling the world and people finding love for our films. So I defined success for myself as if I can wake up every morning inspired to continue doing what I'm doing, it's success. I am successful.
Beautifully said. And we would like to actually from PR industry, we are in a business of building brands. We would like to thank you for building the brand India
Thank you.
at the world stage, and somebody that I know personally. I feel really proud
Thank you.
that what you have achieved for India, and I do feel that this is just the beginning
Absolutely.
of your journey.
Miles to go.
Yeah, and there is a lot that you're going to contribute to the brand India story, and we are waiting to see that turning around
Thank
into a
you.
reality.
Thank you. To many more Oscars and
Thank
global box office for Indian stories.
Thank you, Guneet.
Thank you, Kunal. Thank you.